we got sent an email last night from J. Ray from our live stream. Hey J. Ray, she's incredible. We have so much fun chatting with her and all of our other viewers on live stream. But she mentioned that the ISP Forensic Lab in Idaho recently received an award.
Okay.
Yes. And we immediately were like, wait, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about? You know? And so she sent us the video. She was actually trying to send it to Ian, but I watched it, of course. And we connected them in the email. But I watched it, and I thought it was interesting to bring up. Like, you know, what we were talking about in the chat and then watching it and thinking it over. It was in
reference to this right here. So if you guys haven't watched this that you're seeing on the screen, the Dr. Moore Part 1 and Part 2, these are the live streams that we had immediately following both those premieres, and that's where we got this information. Yeah. So make sure you check them out because they are so interesting, you guys.
Yes, they are. So basically this video, it was on like a local news station. I can't even remember at this point. Well, I can post it. We can post a picture of the video though. It was basically Idaho State Police are taking place in National Forensic Week, where they basically show the techniques they use to solve cases, and it's like supposed to be like a fun, informative thing for everyone, you know, in the state to see how they do things. Mm-hmm. Like, see the science behind the forensic lab and, like, if they're doing a good job, you know, stuff like that. So they had Matthew Gamet, laboratory system director, come on. They did like a little interview with him. And he basically said, I think it's really important for, you know, people in Idaho, the citizens, to see that we have one of the best forensic labs in the entire world. That was what he said. That was his statement.
But they missed DNA and misplaced
They had to
evidence?
send it to the FBI.
Whoa.
So I literally have pulled quotes from it because I thought it was important. Forensic evidence in court is solid. It's reliable and robust. That's what he said.
Robust.
He literally referred to evidence that you see, you know, in court is solid. It is reliable and robust.
I wonder if he used a thesaurus when making his statement. I bet he did. Who uses robust to talk about evidence?
I know, that's really strange.
Yeah.
But, he also talked about their new cold case initiative. Clearly, they're investigating cold cases. And that they won an award, which I took a picture of, and of course I didn't pull it up. It actually said the exact award on it. Dummy.
Yeah, that's super interesting, though, because, like, I don't feel like they did good work in the Idaho 4. So, if we're looking at the Idaho 4 case, right, and we want there to be perception that they did a good job, then they would probably want to give an award like this to make it seem like they did a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, I don't know. I can't freaking find the picture.
It doesn't matter. As long as you find it while I'm editing, I can post it on the page.
I have it. So. I took the screenshot on my computer, not on my phone. Okay. It's the Foresight Maximus Award.
Okay.
And here's a nice little picture. They literally posted a picture of it. And he said the award is from them partnering with West Virginia University, which WSU evaluated and looked over all of their business metrics.
Okay, so this is metrics-based?
Yep, and determined they're operating at 90% efficiency. One of the most efficient laboratory systems in the entire world, is what he said.
Wow.
At 90%.
I mean, that's interesting and everything, but, like, I feel like this is one of those situations, you guys, where when you hear that, it sounds grand. Like, it sounds really great, you know?
Yeah.
But then my exact question, and remember, you guys, I'm a salesperson. Like, my whole career for the last decade and a half has been all around metrics-based accountability and planning and everything like that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, because I was like, what does he mean?
Yeah, so without explaining what 90% means, that could be anything. So great, like, it sounds awesome or whatever. But what does that 90% mean? Is it that 90% of cases that they are involved in to test evidence end up getting closed? Is it 90% of evidence that they receive ends up being able to be identified? Is it 90% of all cases in the state end up needing the assistance of the, like, it could be anything.
Yeah, so business metrics.
Yeah.
For a forensic lab, like, that just was a weird way to state it.
Well, I mean, look, police force is a business, so even police officers are held to business metrics.
They're not speaking, like, money or, like...
No, it just means their business pertaining to them.
Okay.
So just because most people associate money with business doesn't necessarily mean that their business metrics have to do with money. It could just be that their business is held to these KPI standards, key performance indicating standards, where, you know, how quick you get through evidence, how effective that evidence is, what the close rate ends up being with that evidence, things like that.
Okay.
So, but again, going back to, without knowing that, I'm just throwing those off the top of my head. I have no idea what their business metrics are. So that 90% might be great. It might be nothing.
It might mean nothing.
It might mean nothing.
So... He also said Idahoans can be very pleased knowing their crime lab is making the most efficient use of their tax dollars.
Okay.
Don't you think this is a little odd that this, like, they win this award, they come out and say this stuff, and they're participating in this National Forensic Week. Like, I don't know, I've never seen a forensic lab so up in your face in the public, like on the news like this, like, we won an award and we're you know, showing you the science at National Forensic Week, and like that's all really cool, and I like that. Mm-hmm. But I just think with what's going on in Idaho right now, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's coincidental for sure. But one thing to pay attention to is technically they didn't go through any of the evidence in the Idaho 4 case. None. Zero.
Yeah, they had the knife sheath for a little bit.
They had one attempt at the knife sheath and failed, according to the FBI's secondary testing.
Right.
Yep. So they did not find DNA, and it was posted that there was no DNA on it, which is interesting why you would test something, find no DNA, but then be like, just to be sure, even though we tested it and confirmed there's no DNA, we're going to send it to another lab, just in case. Oh, okay. Sounds and feels a little weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird. You know, people in the chat were just saying, like, they're, you know, we were speculating, are they, like, grooming the public, essentially? Like, you can trust us. You know what I mean? Like, trust all the evidence in this case that all of you are very closely watching and distrusting of. Like, this evidence is solid. Trust us.
Yeah, I think that's a very real possibility, and I think grooming sounds like such a bad word, but everybody does grooming. That's what commercials are. That's what salespeople do. You know, all it is a way to positively manipulate a situation to make the person's perception and image view it differently. You know, sometimes it's a positive thing even, but, you know, if you're trying to push a lie, I mean, obviously that's not a positive thing, you know? So.
Yeah. But it just, you know, with any business, like, if there's negative rumors, speculation, like a negative light shown on them, a lot of times they will do like PR type stuff. Like, okay, this year let's do National Forensic Week because it'll look good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like they'll do things for the public, or they'll come on the news and talk about how great they are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it makes sense for them to do these things when they're under fire.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And that's not like uncommon. That's done every single day. We see it all the time. So I don't think it's far-fetched to think that's a possibility
No,
here.
to question it. Look, one of the things that we do here, and we try really hard to make sure that we do, is take an unbiased look at everything. So we go to the tin hat locations that a lot of people don't like going, but we also go to the mainstream news locations that most people like watching. And we find that reality somewhere lands in between those two things. And the only way to get a good understanding and gauge on any situation is to be able to look at both of those unbiased to see how much is or is not making sense, how much is or is not making sense, and what relates, what correlates, what works together to find that realistic outcome of most situations.
Yeah, but I want to know what you guys think about this information. If you think it's nothing, if you know what their business metrics are, you know, just what do you think?
Yeah, hopefully we do have some people in our viewership that know more about this, because I would be curious to know what those business metrics are.
Me too.
Yeah.